Yeah, I mean, I never get... Oh, by the way, we're here at Dave's Garage. Going to do a little quick run up Blood Mountain with Bob and his new bike. If you remember, you've seen a few videos of Bonneville Bob. If you remember, there was one where he took my Speed Twin for a spin, and I rode his 2014, or what year's your Bobber? Or your Bonneville? 2010. And let's see, it's been crashed pretty hard, repaired. I rode that thing and I was like, I felt bad because I didn't, you don't want to dog someone else's bike, but it was sketchy as fuck when it came to the handling. So Bob was thinking about maybe a new one, but he ended up going in and scoring that, which is a 2023 Triumph Tiger 660 Sport. There's a Triumph right there. Yeah, so we got a 660 Sport. He's got luggage and shit on the way and has it all decked out. Everything except for the heated grips. And set out the door with taxes and all his accessories and shit was just a little over 12 grand, which is insane to be able to get that much bike for the money, especially with inflation and all the other lovely things we have to deal with under President Brandon. So you've been riding it, what, Bob? Mostly up in the around the house and up and down 400. So is this your first time up Blood on this? Sweet. So surprisingly, this thing came with Michelin Road 5s, which are an absolutely fantastic tire. What's that bike right there? Some kind of sport bike. He's got. So give Bob a little time to get comfortable on the bike. We got to get ahead of this truck though, catch up to that guy. Trying to pull up alongside just so I can get a side shot. Beautiful color, nice graphics. Got grab handles on the back. It's got, unlike the other Tigers, this one is set up more like a sport bike using the older Daytona 675 motor. Nissan brakes, does have braided lines, doesn't come with the Brembos. That's a good looking bike. Adjustable windscreen. Forks are not adjustable, but the rear is adjustable. It's got a preload adjuster. You can pass me, go ahead. LED lights. Like, it really is I mean, it's a well-kitted bike. It's one of the most affordable ones in the Triumph product line. But honestly, other than things like, okay, you're not getting a fully adjustable forks and a shock and stuff at that price point, they didn't really scrimp anywhere else. It's got a dashboard. It's got a nice little dashboard, adjustable windscreen, although he's doing what I did with the Tracer and going to a lower one, because the more you put it up, the more it funnels the wind right into your frickin' face and it knocks your head around like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, the buffeting is horrible, and my Tracer was the same way. And you can get the giant shield, the giant windscreen, which really looks like a prison riot shield. Then your bike looks all gay. So he's going with the lower sporty one because he rode a Bonneville for years, so he's used to the wind hitting him. And honestly, in the summertime in Georgia, I like the extra wind hitting me, helping keep you cool. If you're out of the wind, you're overheating. Now, I guess the flip side would be in the wintertime, it would be nice, but... That's a good point. I mean, you could get a touring screen for the once a year you go on a long trip, right? And it's only like 4 screws. You can just mount that if you're going to go up, if you're going to go up to Wisconsin or something, visit family, and you wanted to take the bike in the summertime. Yeah. I might go play with him. right, you know what, Bob, I'm gonna leave you just for a little bit because I just see a bunch of bikes and my competitive nature wants me immediately to go play a little bit. This is the first time I've had these tires. Well, I got a Q3 Plus on the front, but I did upgrade to a Q5 on the back. So technically these tires are mismatched, but so far the Road 5s feel pretty good. This is the Road 5, oh no, not the Road 5. This is the Q5S is what it is. And I got a Q3 Plus on the front. One of the guys on the sport bikes would come and play with me, but you still out there, Bob, or did I get out of range? Yeah, we're not using mesh, so he can't hear me. Oh, minivan. Minivan who can't hold their line. I mean, I go over the double yellow, but that's intentional to pass somebody. Oh my God. Jesus Christ, dude. I'd never seen a turn before. Alright, so we've gone from helping Bob review his bike by proxy to me just kind of blowing out ahead. But I'll slow down. Oh, I hear Bob back there. Bobby, you hear me? Alright, cool. I backed the pace down. I'm just kind of going slow here. Did you pass those guys, or are you still in front of them? Oh, awesome. Yeah, I saw sport bikes mixed in, so I was like, oh, maybe they're going to want to go. Yeah, I just saw a little bit of lights. Ooh, RSV4. That's a nice bike. All right, go ahead and pull past me. Look at Bob. Now, see, on your old bike, you would not be passing big groups of sport bikes like that. It's amazing once you get the right tool for the job. Like how easy it is. There he is, look at that. Yeah, I'm in second. Oh yeah, that bike's got good engine braking. And it's got a slipper clutch. I think it does. I think all the Triumphs now have slipper clutches. Is it an option to get a quick shifter for that bike? All right. I think so, yeah. I will be honest. I would absolutely 110% do the quick shifter. Once you use a quick shifter, especially because it'll be auto blip up and down. I think it'll be up and down. But yeah, it would have to be. That's ride by wire. So as soon as you get that, dude, you'll never want to go back to a bike that doesn't have it. Like right now, I'm missing it because my Yamaha's got it, and this one doesn't. Quick shifters are amazing. So much fun. Yeah, they actually pulled over enough that I was able to go around them without going over the double. So I think, so maybe technically I did not break the law. Although I'm sure Officer Mike will chime in telling me that I did. it would be lane splitting. So then what? So technically, though, if the law is, well, two vehicles in the same lane, what if I pass a bike? They're both motor vehicles. I don't believe the law would specify and say, well, it's illegal for a bike to pass a car within the lane because it's two vehicles. Well, if it's two vehicles, aren't supposed to pass each other in the same lane, but two motorcycles clearly can and do all the time. So it's probably just up to the discretion of the judge or the cop, I guess, at that point. Oh yeah, I'm still running the camera. So Bob, describe to me what you're feeling, and I will, by proxy, do your bike review. Yeah, cornering is and agility is one of the things they really went for in that design. Like vibrations and buzziness. Yeah, I think the problem is, and that's a problem in general with inline 3 motors, triples are inherently unbalanced. And so, you know, the triple whine that everybody talks about, you can hear, you know, whether it's a Yamaha or a Triumph, there's a certain whine to the engine that you can hear. And that's because it has to run a counterbalancer, because the motor itself is not balanced. There is no primary balance that you can really achieve on a triple like that. So while they do a good job of taming most of it so that the motor doesn't tear itself apart, I think triples are always a little bit buzzy. And that's what you're feeling. Yeah, I mean, you're just lazily loping along, and you're going, honestly, a good bit faster than you would normally go on your, you know, and you're not even trying to go fast, but we're going at a much quicker pace. You'd normally, if I was running this, you know, which is not a fast pace, but if I was running down this road and you were on your Bonneville, especially through the turns, you'd be like a quarter mile back right now. And here, you're just like, what? I mean, you're talking and you're not even paying attention to your riding much, and you're already considerably quicker and more comfortable, obviously. Yeah, as the bike breaks in and you break in with the bike, you'll get more of a feel what it can do and where the limits are. And yeah, I mean, confidence is key when you're riding. If the bike feels squirrely, you might not even be able to describe it, but you just instinctively know something feels unsteady. There's something unstable. You can't tell what the front end's doing. You automatically slow down and you back it down to a point where you feel comfortable again. When you got a bike that's really well sorted from the factory and has the right tires and all that stuff, you're just like, well, I'm going 20 miles an hour through this turn faster than I normally would. But honestly, I don't feel like I'm even having to push. I'm calm. It's just like, whatever, it's just doing it. That's how you know you got the right bike, when it just works. You don't have to think about it. I noticed that on Cameron Z900. Yeah, I've ridden enough bikes that I can kind of get on whatever and for the most part ride it, but I wouldn't ride your bike fast, the Bonneville. I tried to when you were getting up a little bit on the Speed Twin 1200, I was like, oh, let me spin. And I was like, nope, nope, nope. But I got on Cameron's bike up at the Foothills Parkway, and I'm doing 124 up in the twisties. And I was like, I've ridden this bike once on a straightaway, and it was like, I got on it, and it was instantly comfortable. It was instantly familiar. It just felt neutral. Like, I didn't feel like, okay, I've got to ride this for an hour to adjust to it. You just kind of figure out where the controls are, and you're like, okay, I got it. And I feel like that bike is a lot like that. And it looks good. That's a good looking bike. So we are in, yeah, I'm fine, whatever. Leave here, I'd say we could go over Richard Russell, but honestly there's been so much police presence on that road, you can't really have fun. We could go down 180 to 1775. I don't know. I mean, I want to say at some point I must have been on Owltown. Okay, I'm fine with whatever. I was going to say we go up 1775 and go up over the mountain down into Helen that way, but I'm fine with Owltown. Something different. Yeah, all right. No. Yeah, my buddy Ron lives up here somewhere. I was at his house once, but we took a bunch of roads to get there, and I'm not entirely, I couldn't get back if you paid me $1 million, but I ran into him at the Dragon last week. Him, Tom, and a bunch of the guys I ride, we've ridden up with here a few times now. Good group of guys. And then Nick and I were coming back from yeah, we were coming back from the Dragon. We were up in Tennessee somewhere, and we're sitting at a red light, and I look back, and there's Ron and everybody. We had a good little ride up there. And we are pulling up to the restaurant. Good, the parking lot's not full, so we can park right up front. Just a little bit of gravel. Yeah, you're good on the left. Just go into dirt bike mode. Only use rear brakes. All right. My mad skills. Cool. Let's go get some grub. There. Now we're recording. So we're doing what? Owltown Road, something. All right. I don't think of it. If I've been on this road, it was once, and it was probably like a decade ago. Nothing's looking familiar to me. Yeah. You know, what's weird is that your brake lights are red, but your blinkers in the back are red, not yellow. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the self-canceling's nice. Skinny gap, all right. Oh, Skeena gap. Yeah, that makes a little more sense. '60 I know well, although I'm usually going the other direction, but yeah. Is that back tire, is that a 160 or a 180? Your back tire, is that a 160 or a 180? I feel like it's a 160. Looks, I think it's the same size that's on my Speed Twin, 160. It's what comes on an SV650 and other bikes on that size, so that would make sense. It's just beautiful and peaceful up here. Quiet. As long as I could get good fast internet and I got air conditioning and running water and everything, I'd be happy as a clam up here. Which is great unless you lose your job. That's what probably keeps us from moving out this way now. It's like we're like Donna right now. She lost her job. We were both working from home for years before COVID. But, you know, some of the opportunities she's had were like, well, we need you to drive down to Cobb Galleria area or Sandy Springs. And it's like, that'd be yeah, beautiful. So if you don't mind me asking, I won't broadcast over the video, but what would your house sell for right now? Like, what's your house going for in Zillow? The one you're here in Dahlonega. See, that's the thing, man. We could sell our house for more than that right now. Exactly. We bought our house in Flowery Branch for like $264, and right now it's going $590, $600. So we're way up as far as equity. But we could easily sell that, and easily, I mean, financially it'd be a little bit, just again, because of the area, not the house, but we could go get a house that would be comparable and, you know, 100 grand cheaper by moving way the fuck out here, which would be awesome. The problem then becomes like, yeah, what happens when you gotta go travel? What happens when you gotta go into the office 2 or 3 days a week, and, you know, you're looking at a 2.5 hour commute. But when I retire, that's what I want to do. I want to move up here, get a little small 3-bedroom somewhere with 10 acres, build a forge out back so I can do some knife making and some stuff to keep myself busy and make some extra money. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know this road at all. You could come around and it could be gravel, like not where it's not repaved yet, so I'm fine with just sticking to the speed limit. Yeah, it looks like they just paved this. I've had that happen before on a bike. I'm flying around a turn and all of a sudden it's like 50 yards and then the road ends and it's gravel and there was no sign to warn you. That is a huge pucker moment on a bike. In a pickup truck, I'd be like, all right, whatever. We're going off-road and get ready. Yeah, Ron's house is somewhere. We're probably 3 miles from, I mean, he's up here somewhere. Yeah, that's beautiful. Nice. Yeah, for a couple of years when I was growing up, so when I was in 7th grade, I think, we moved, I grew up in Buffalo, like in the suburbs of Buffalo, like Orchard Park area, and then we decided to move out to a town called Eden, or Angola, both, and it's like 30 miles south of Buffalo, very, very rural. My parents bought a 13.5 acre horse farm, and we were only there for like 2.5 years, but it was actually some of the funnest years because, you know, we had 13.5 acres, we had 4 or 5 horses, we had a barn, we had a detached garage with an apartment upstairs kind of thing, and the house was built in like the 1840s, an old colonial farmhouse. It was really cool growing up there. And then surrounding there, like across the street, was hundreds of acre lots and stuff where they were doing like logging roads back there, so we'd take the dirt bikes or horses. and just go riding for miles. And that was a lot of fun. I went back to there about 7 or 8 years ago when we went up to see my grandmother for her 100th birthday party. And I took Donna, I said, hey, let's go out to where I grew up. And dude, I'm not kidding when I say nothing's changed. Like, I left there in like 1985, 86 maybe. And we went back in like 2015 maybe. And it was like stepping back in time. Like, it wasn't all built up in Walmarts, and it's like the same little pizza store, the same little general store. Like, there were no real new subdivisions out there. That was very cool. I don't get nostalgia about a lot of things. I don't really think about the past all that much. I'm more of like the in the moment guy. I don't think too far in the future, which is sometimes not good because I don't probably plan as much as I should. But those were very fun years to just get out on dirt bikes. You're just out there, a couple country kids with your country friends, building tree houses, shooting stuff. It was a good way to grow up. Now look at how kids are raised today, and the participation trophies, and everyone's coddled and all this other stuff. And there are certain advances, and we'll go wherever, dude. All right. So many kids are coddled, and yeah. But I think we grew up at a good time. I mean, yeah, we did. You know, we didn't have internet, although we were the first generation to get computers as kids, which was kind of cool because that was exciting. That was new. You went from 8-track and cassette to all of a sudden we're playing Pong and, you know, getting Commodore 64s and shit, which was kind of cool. But it was like you were allowed to be competitive. You were allowed to go out and get hurt. Your mom would be like, rub some dirt in it, stop crying, you know. And if you lost the game, it was like, well, they're a better team than you. We need to work harder, and then maybe next time we'll win. You know, it wasn't participation trophies and, well, all that matters is the effort. It was like, no, I mean, effort's good, but, you know, results count. And I feel like, I don't know. I look at the way kids are being raised today, and it's, definitely makes me question the future. Oh, this is old 76. I think we're supposed to go back the other way. All right. Yeah, I know exactly where we are. Oh, you didn't tighten it back up. It's flopping around. Yeah. Well, as long as it doesn't fall off, you'll be all right. But this really reminds me now, where I grew up wasn't, it wasn't as mountainous as this. Although where I was in New Jersey was very, very hilly, a lot of lakes. It wasn't anything of what people think New Jersey looks like. Everybody thinks of Newark or Jersey Shore. But, yeah, exactly, what exit? Yeah, I was in, actually, see, that's all, like the Garden State Parkway and the Turnpike is all on East Jersey. I was up in Sussex County, which is nestled in between the Catskill Mountains, coming out of southern New York, and then the Poconos, right over the border, and the Delaware River, the Delaware Water Gap, all that stuff. I was in a very interesting part of New Jersey. It was all like lakes, hills, a little bit of mountains, and ski resorts. There are no big cities in that part of the state at all. And that was actually a pretty good, I'm gonna be honest, New Jersey was a good place to grow up too. It sucked for gun rights, and it sucked for my parents for the cost of living and insurance and taxes. But growing up, like in the northern part of New Jersey, it's all green. There are no cities. There's little towns like Dahlonega. And it's just, you can't go more than 5 or 6 miles without running into a lake. And it was a good time. Late 80s, early 90s. That was a good time to grow up. We didn't have school shootings yet. Yeah, I mean, it was a more innocent time. You know, once in a while someone in school would get busted for weed, or you'd have the cops would break up a kegger party, for underage. That was about it. That's all that ever happened. There was no murders. Dude, that's awesome. So for the people that can't hear that, Bob was telling me how when he was a sophomore in high school, you're up in where, Wisconsin? That for whatever, they did a presentation, show and tell kind of thing on how to properly clean and maintain your shotgun. And they got permission from the principal to bring his shotgun into school to do a presentation on proper clean and care. So what year would that have been? 80s? 82 or 83? See, that's the thing. That's another thing. I get in these arguments with like anti-gun people. They're just like, we need stricter gun laws. We need, gun availability is too much. And it's like, you look at the numbers. The number of households as a percentage with firearms actually has gone way down, because the amount of households in America has outpaced the number of people buying guns. So even though we have more people with guns as a per capita ratio, it's less. So I was like, you don't understand. It's like when my parents were kids, they were able to order guns from Sears and Roebuck, or what was the other one? Wells Fargo, Montgomery Ward, Wells Fargo. They were able to order guns and have them shipped to the house, and mail order them. Fill out the order form, send a check, and in a few weeks your gun would be delivered to your house. And when my parents were kids, and your parents too, they had rifle shooting teams. And you'd bring your gun and some ammo, your 22 and some ammo, and store it in the vice principal's office or locked up in a locker somewhere. And kids were allowed to bring guns to school. They had them in rifle racks in their trucks. And it's like, you think about how easily guns were available back then, and the fact that people were allowed to bring them to school. And the number of school shootings over like a 30-year period was, what, one, maybe? And there's probably an accident. And it's like today, it's like we got over 8,000 firearms laws on the books. They're more regulated than any other product on the market. It's like gun availability has gone down. It's harder to get them now than it ever has been. But school shootings are up. So it's like the guns haven't changed. People have. What makes a kid decide, I'm so upset, I'm going to go massacre my classmates? Like, that was the thought that never even popped into our heads as kids. It's crazy stuff. That's a cop up ahead. I think so. Maybe not. Yeah, the side profile looked like a cop. Yeah, GSP. Yep. Yeah. it's good to know that if pushing 51, I still have good eyesight. I was able to spot a cop that far. Oh, okay. Yeah, because on a long straightaway, that is a passing zone. That's where you would probably would have gunned it. I actually like those Tellurides. They've got a new, like, their version of the Triumph's got the Pro 4X. They've got an off-roady kind of version that's still luxury. It's actually a really nice SUV. If I was going to get an SUV today, I would consider one. Yeah, the Telluride, they're really nice inside. They look like a freaking Range Rover inside. They're gorgeous. There's another one. There's one right there. They're beautiful. No, that was another Telluride. This is a great part of the country to live in if you're a rider. Because people watching my videos are like, oh, I wish I had roads like that near me. And it's just like Blood Mountain or 60. And I'm like, there's thousands of miles of this. Yeah, I wouldn't. Right. Yeah. I wouldn't move back north. I mean, I like New Jersey. New Jersey's got good food. There's, you're right near New York City. The area that I was from, beautiful, gorgeous. Love to visit it, see my old little towns I grew up. Very historic. I mean, New Jersey's got a lot of history, Revolutionary War type stuff. Shitty gun laws and the cost of living. And the fact that, you got to put your bike in the shed for 5 months a year because snow, salt, all that shit. Down here, it's like, these roads we're on, people are like, oh, this is amazing. It's like, this goes on from like Pennsylvania all the way down through West Virginia and Virginia, through the Carolinas, Tennessee, Kentucky, into Georgia. Like, we literally have thousands of miles of gnarly, fun country roads that we can ride for the most part. I mean, if you go up north, you won't get year-round, but down here, we ride 12 months a year. There's only a few days that it's really too cold to ride, especially once you get your heated grips. Have you ever had heated grips on a bike? Dude, it will, that and the quick shifter will change your life, I'm telling you. A heated seat's nice too, but the grips, because that's what's out in the wind, that the wind is just, you're not protected on these kinds of bikes. Your fists are right out there. The Barkbusters not only look good, but not only work well, but they actually look good if you get the right ones. I had them on my Super Duke. I had a 990, and I had some of Chirby's Barkbusters that I had painted to match the bike. And Yeah, they kept the wind off your hands, but I'm telling you, man, those heated grips, when it's like, wow, my hands are actually toasty. It'd be the best $300 you spend. Other than maybe that tie hooker and Nom. The Nom. I said it'd be the best $300 you spent, other than that tie hooker you got in the Nom. The Nom, yeah. Yes. I saw a meme, it was an Asian girl, and it was captioned like, you know when inflation is bad, and her shirt said, I not love you long time, or something to that effect. Like, she can no longer love you long time, because inflation has hit even her industries. Yeah. Like every industry is feeling the pinch. See if you can what? What are you gonna? What? Oh, your mirror. I'll show you how to adjust it. No, I'll show you how to get it tight. Think, oh, I know how to make it tight. Although when you think about it, that's not really a good thing, because it's, well, no, I guess it is. Yeah, never mind. I had it backwards. I saw a funny ass meme the other day. It was like a turkey, like getting ready to be cooked, but it was looking into the end of the hole with all the skin and everything, just like this gaping hole and skin hanging out. And it was like, why does this turkey look like she's 35 and looking to settle down? Oh yeah. Oh, like, that is hysterical. Sure? I'll turn off the camera and roped off. We'll go up there on the bridge. We'll pull over real quick, right there. So Dave's garage on location. Bob calls me this morning. He's like, I'm having a problem with my mirror. I can't get the goddamn thing loosened to tighten it. And I was like, is it the right mirror? He's like, yeah. It's like, it's reverse threaded. He called the Triumph dealer trying to figure it out. The Triumph dealer couldn't tell him that the didn't know that was reverse threaded, and that was the problem. Chowderheads. All right, so here's what we do, Bobby. So this one he's going to tighten it. So what we want to do is get this to the point where it's almost tight.
Yeah, exactly what I was going to do.
I know, but I'm doing it. Okay, so we need to go further. Turn your bar all the way. I want to see if I can clear that. There we go. It's tightening.
It's a little too far in front. I'll fix it when I get home. I just don't want to fly him backwards. I want to be able to at least kind of be able to see it.
Yeah. And technically you only need one. Like my MT10 has one bar end on the left side, that's it. Gotcha. Alright. I'm not leaving you. I won't leave you, Bob. Look at that view. Alright. You have permission to buzz the tower. Maverick does not ask for permission. So we're on 60. Gonna head up towards Suches. No longer Bonneville Bob. Bob is now a tiger. You need the eye of the tiger. You can bring that 80s song back from Survivor, and that'll be your theme song. Yeah. Yeah, I'll look and see what exhausts there are for that. And I can tune that thing, all that shit I can do from my phone. It would sound good. I mean, it'll sound like a Daytona or a street triple. Yeah. Look at Bob hustling through the twisties. Looking good, Bob. The bike, too. Rawr. Yep, nimble. Yeah, your lines on the Bonneville will be all over the damn place. Yeah, so your blinkers are also your brake lights. That's why they're red, not yellow. So you got your tail light on, and then when you hit the brakes, the tail light gets brighter, and both your blinkers come on red. And then if you have your blinker on, then it just flashes to one side. I thought it was weird that they were not yellow, but I guess that makes sense. This installment of Dave's Garage is almost entirely about Bob. So Bob gets a feature. You made your feature, yeah. Feature presentation. Perfect. I see your butt moving off the seat. Good job, good job. What's that? Well, move your butt before you get to the turn. Set up. not mid-turn. Yeah, and Bob, actually, next time you, actually, tell you what, I'm going to give you a present. I've got a Hero 9 Black at home, GoPro. I think it's got 2 batteries. I'll have to see how many batteries I've got. You're buying that mount, you order that mount. So there's another end that goes on the other end. I will give you the camera. I don't use it, I use this one. And it's one of those ones where I had trouble, but I did update the firmware, and since then it's been working fine. But I'd already bought this one, so I just don't use it. So I can smell weed. Yeah, that's a lot of weed. We can pass Cheech and Chong up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you that camera. You'll be able to mount that to your bike using that RAM mount. And then you... yeah, this is a Hero 9 Black, so it'll have actually like good image stabilization and quality and all that stuff. So, yeah, next time I come up, remind me before I come up on any group ride we're going to be doing to bring that. Wow, that's a lot of stinky weed. But when we're out here in open air and bikes and it's that strong, you smell like you're in a closet with the person. It's like, that's a... Is that one of your kids up ahead? Of course, your kids, just for the audience to be clear, they do have a medical reason for it. Yeah, they got their medical card. Medicinal purposes only. Yeah. Boy. I wonder how many hits this guy's gonna take. I mean, yeah, there's a couple straightaways, and if you don't worry about me being able to pass, you just go and yeah, I'm not as up on my weed lore, but I mean, don't you just take like a hit or two? I mean, it's not like you sit down and smoke the whole goddamn thing by yourself like a cigarette, right? All right, thank you. Yeah. Yeah. They're both handicapped, actually. What is this? Yeah. We're gonna have a passing zone coming up. Like I said, if you see the room, go for it. Now I just smell cow shit. That's a good, good wholesome earthly smell. I figured I would just jump ahead and play for a minute. Yeah, so I was coming out of that turn at 100 and my traction control kicked in. I think we lost Bob. Let's let him catch up. I hear you coming back into range. Yeah, we'll have to figure out mesh on yours because mesh works like 5 times further. Yeah, I was coming out of that sweeper turn in second with the throttle pinned, and I was up around 100 miles an hour, and I saw my traction control lighting up, meaning my back tire was starting to spin up at 100. Oh, I love this thing. But I didn't even feel anything out of sorts. Like, it was just smooth and comfortable. Like, you're like, oh, it's doing something. But it didn't disrupt it or make it feel squirrely at all. If you want to pass me, go for it. It's all about you, Bob. This is your day. Yeah. I think I had lunch there one day. Yeah. I was there with some guys. One of the groups I was riding with. Jesus, get on your fucking side of the road, lady. Yeah. You run wide in the turns and you're only going 35. How much do you suck as a driver? Yeah. PT Cruiser. Yeah, didn't Michael Scott have one of those in The Office? He had a Sebring, but I think he had a PT Cruiser first. Yeah, because it's like the only car that sucks worse than a Sebring. Yeah, that road I've been on. There's the North Atlanta Motorcycle Riders group or whatever. I've gone on a couple road rides with them, and they picked some of those side roads. Yeah, Bill Hoskins, he's a cool dude. He's got a Z900, like the old one I had, and then he runs some of those group rides, and he always finds these roads up here that are just twisty, gnarly, and then all of a sudden it's gravel, then you're on a goat trail. Like, I'm just like, this is not the bike for that. They're very cool routes. I'm not comfortable on them because, you know, being on a high power sport bike and going up a sketchy gravel road that's one lane for each direction, so if a car comes, you know, you're having to pull over. But they're interesting. You're just like, that's where I'm like, you know what, it would be fun to have a dual sport and just go hit those crazy side roads that I've seen that. Again, I'm usually almost always coming the other way. I very rarely ride it this direction. Well, I have been expanding my horizons a bit, but again, it's like, if you know, it's like if you want to go fast, you got to go on a road you know the condition of. But that's why, like, I want to start going up to the Dragon and that surrounding area more, and I ride up, ride back. There's some great roads up there, and if you use Google Maps, you can download ahead of time the whole part of the state into the map, so you don't have to have a signal for the GPS to work properly. Because your GPS always knows where you are as far as latitude, longitude, but without the data, without your data connection, it can't pull up the map on where you are. Yeah, Google Maps does it too. You can basically go in and say, I'm going to be in this half of Tennessee, so just download the whole goddamn state, and it'll store it as a file. And as long as you have access to the horizon, you know, the sky, you can pick up the satellites and your GPS will work just fine with all your voice turn by turn, all that shit. And so I want to go up to the Dragon and be like, we're just going to go that way. Let's just go see what we find. And we get where we get, and it'll be a surprise. I don't want to get a dedicated GPS. Yeah, when I can download the maps for free, I just have to do it while I'm in an area with the signal. That's the only caveat. But if you know where you're going, you can get like a 200-mile in each direction. So any area you're going to hit that day would be in that grid. The Bonneville, it served its purpose. It was good for what it was. No, you look very relaxed. You're just... What? What was it? Oh, I didn't see a dog. What? Was it a little dog? Aw. Nah. I hate seeing some puppy on the side of the road because I'm like, my first instinct is to put it in my jacket and take the thing home. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah, not even that crowded today. Sure. I do see a Z900. Is that Cam's bike? Is that Ron's bike? No, his has exhaust on it. Go inside, cool off, maybe grab a drink. We'll be back.